Are you ready for pain? Are you ready for suffering? If the answer is yes, then you're ready.
I'm a human man with a period. I have a male gene expression and can naturally produce testosterone. However, I also have a uterus and can get periods. Seahorse dad is a term for men who can birth their own baby. Science agrees with us. Science accepts our existence. We're real. Science is like, yeah, this is definitely a thing and we accept it. I'm in advanced college biochemistry and you're doing freshman science, dude. Get with the program.
Hi, I'm Gabriel. Well, I used to be Gabriel. Now I'm Gabriel. And my life is, well, unbelievable.
Okay, I am so sick of that Kent State gun girl going around her campus that she doesn't even go to anymore. She doesn't even attend college anymore. She doesn't go to this school anymore. But going to people on this campus and being like, don't you think it's weird that they're trying to get women with penises in the women's bathroom? Women don't have penises. And what about men with periods? Do you even know what a period is? Men don't have periods. Yeah, they do. I'm a man who has periods, and they suck. But I get them. And believe me, if my school, if I was comfortable going in the men's bathroom and there were period products in there, that'd be so fucking cool. Sure, all the cis guys would fuck around with them. But just ask the questions and go.
A question that I don't feel like has been addressed as well as it could is, does being a Therian affect your gender? I personally think it can. I think it absolutely can. If not gender, then your expression of what would be considered masculinity or femininity. For me personally, my stereotypes have specific genders in terms of what I think they were in past lives. And the overarching animal spirits, sort of, if they give off masculine or if they give off feminine energy. For me personally, my wolf stereotype is masculine, my cat stereotype is feminine, and my northern pike stereotype is masculine. So, I personally feel more masculine when I am connecting with wolf and more feminine when I am connecting with cat. And when I say wolf and cat, I'm referring to the animal spirits themselves. I'm not referring to like my stereotype directly, because your stereotype is a part of you, but I am referring to the overarching animal spirits of that specific species or stereotype. For example, for cat, I made a perfume. I make perfumes as offerings for the animal spirits that I work with and for my stereotypes. And for cat, I did a much more feminine perfume. I did things like, I did catnip, which is a feminine herb. I did lilac, because my name's Lila, and it's a very feminine scent. It's very floral, it's very feminine and powerful. Whereas the perfume that I did for wolf is much more masculine, much more rustic. It has things like pine, it has things like garden sage, stuff like that. So that's just an example. When working with those animal spirits and like invoking those animal spirits in yourself, I personally think that that affects whether or not you're leaning masculine or feminine, or whether or not you're connecting with the masculinity or femininity. Now, masculinity and femininity are things that don't actually exist, in my opinion. Those are entirely based on social constructs. So when I say masculinity and femininity, I'm referring to the social construct and how I personally feel in regards to how I express myself. I'm a much more masculine person for a woman. I keep my nails short. I don't really wear makeup, things that would be considered feminine per society. And I think that that could have something to do with two of my stereotypes being male and one of my stereotypes being female. So Just something to think about. I think it's different for everyone.
Believe it or not, Eraserhead is my most spiritual film.
Why elaborate on that?
No, I won't.
Like, men have most of the power, right? We live in a patriarchy. But no. Women make 70 to 80% of consumer buying decisions. So everything we see in the media is catered towards them. And women are bailed out of every bad decision they make. For example, if a girl is promiscuous, she has birth control. If the birth control fails, she has an abortion. If the abortion fails, then she can go to court and get child support from the father. If she gets married and the marriage fails, she can get alimony. We don't get as much prison time as men. On top of that, if we don't get child support and we're a single mother, there are government programs that pay for us to be single mothers. And if that goes poorly and we end up homeless, there's women's shelters to bail us out, or more government benefits that we get that men mostly pay into. We own 80% of the debt, and what are they marketing in America right now? Debt forgiveness. We make all of these poor decisions and we're always bailed out. What about the men? If they make a baby with someone they shouldn't have, they literally pay for it for 18 years. They marry the wrong woman, they could be paying alimony for 18 years. Not 18 years, I don't know how long alimony usually is. If they end up homeless, there's not a bunch of men's shelters around.
Women make 70 to 80% of the consumer decisions because 70 to 80% of retail ads target women to shop for our male partners, our children, our home, and even ourselves, but only buying the things, of course, that will attract a male partner. When a cis man is promiscuous, he doesn't have to think about birth control because pregnancy will never be his physical burden to bear. Birth control is another way that women make life easier for men by putting our physical and mental health in danger, all in the name of not conceiving a child. Abortion isn't a get-out-of-jail-free card, it's physical and mental health care for women, especially those who conceived as a result of sexual trauma or rape, especially those who had to endure that as minors. Anyone can be put on child support. It's a partial reimbursement of money spent on the child that is given to the custodial parent from the non-custodial parent. When men go to court to get joint or full custody, they actually win it over 90% of the time. And there are some women who do give up their custody rights, but this isn't usually the reason why a man is raising his children alone. It's usually because the mother of his children passed away. The average child support payment from someone firmly middle class is about $430 a month. The average monthly cost of raising a child for everyone is $1,324. DV shelters don't exist for men because it's women and their children who are largely the survivors of domestic violence. Homeless shelters exist for men. The reason why the overwhelming majority of homeless men don't utilize them is because the threat of male violence that exists there. It's also the reason why most homeless shelters are segregated based on gender. Every taxpayer pays into public health programs. Where do you live where only men pay taxes? Men make nearly all of the laws and run nearly all of the countries while starting all of the wars. Women have less money, less freedom, fewer rights, and less physical and sexual safety. But yeah, we're totally oppressing them.
Question / PSA or whatever. Amoxicillin, pretty basic antibiotic. It has on a warning that says it can interfere with hormonal birth control, which is good to know. If you're on hormonal birth control, you need to use maybe other methods of protection if you're ever taking that antibiotic and maybe some others. But here's the other thing. It can mess up your hormones maybe and affect like oestrogen, like estrogen, oestrogen, and how that like gets like apparently it can mess up how it gets processed in your liver, and it causes people with periods, or everything I found online was not inclusive language, but to start their periods early, or apparently to get them to come back. So I guess I should talk to my doctor, or I'll just wait it out. But I just wonder if anyone else had experience with that, being on antibiotics and having a period come back, because my period stopped like honestly a couple months ago. So
A man needs his balls to produce testosterone to make him strong and aggressive.
And if you see a man saying shit like this, cut his balls off.
Mr. Green, so I'd be in, right? Yeah, that seems reasonable. Yeah, me from the past. Quick privilege check. One of the reasons we study history is so that you can learn that people like you are not actually at the center of history, even though, you know, you've been taught that. But anyway, the whole idea of owning land is a prerequisite.
That's it.